I heard about the competition online. I think I was following the competition on Twitter and saw it advertised, and saw a lot of these competitions that I sometimes see advertised aren't for UK, it's just for US. If they're US based, it's for internal only. So I thought, this one's something that I could actually go for. And I love LittleBigPlanet, it's my favourite game anyway. So I thought, and I'm a games designer, games developer, virtual worlds, all that sort of thing. So I thought, well, I can combine the two and put in an application for it. And luckily enough, I was chosen as a winner. So that's how I'm at this event today. I think it's so amazing. It's so clever how they created it, because I love the fact that the levels that you play that come with the game, they actually created them using the tools that they've given us. They haven't created anything like behind the scenes. Everything that you play you could physically recreate yourself, because they've used these tools, which they're just like some of the things you can create are quite powerful, but you don't need to use any sort of code. It's just like literally mechanics. So if you want to make a door swing, you don't need to program it to make the door open and close like you would in ordinary game creation. You literally just attach a piece of elastic to it and a nut or a bolt and make it swing. So it's so intuitive to learn. So I think that's why sort of LittleBigPlanet really sort of appealed to me, and I think that's why it's so popular as well as a learning tool. There's such a high dropout rate with students, and they get so bored, and everybody, I don't know, I think it's the same in the US, but certainly in the UK, so many, like 95% of people just love games and into gaming. That's the first thing they want to do when they come home from school. So it makes sense it's such like a taboo, like, we can't use games in education, because they're for fun. But it makes sense. Some of the concepts that you learn when you are, using games, and certainly making games, or working out how games work. There's teamwork, there's how the mechanisms work, there's so many sort of key things that can be used. So to be able to integrate that into a game, and I mean the way I'm going to do this level hopefully is that it would be in a way that it could be played without the need to be learning, so people could still play it just for fun. If they've got no interest in the subject matter, it could still be like a fun little platforming puzzle game, but the idea being that you accidentally learn things along the way really, rather than deliberately. Any sort of game, whether it's a game about looking after kittens, or whether it's a game like going and destroying an airport, the dynamics are still the same, and that's what draws them in. The sort of the team dynamics and the reward elements and things like that. Really, it's such a rich way of learning things. You know yourself from when you learn reading from a textbook. It's so much harder to remember the information than if it's accidentally being put in there, and just using any sort of digital media really is more effective than using plain sort of static content. So games, just with the immersion and the interactivity, I think it's just sort of like a no-brainer really, that it improves learning. First of all, there's going to be different difficulty levels anyway, so that and all the challenges are optional, in the way that if you really can't do one, it doesn't stop you progressing with the rest of the game. You miss out on the rewards and the prizes that are associated with that particular challenge, but you can bypass it and just go straight on to the next one. So it's not sort of like if you fail, that's it, you get kicked out, because I mean that's really frustrating, isn't it, when that happens? If a game's too difficult, you just don't want to play it. So it's the increasing level of difficulty with basically the higher the difficulty you attempt, the more prizes and rewards are available to you to win really. So, but all of them have a helpful character on hand to give sort of advice about where you're going wrong and things like that. So it's not just going to be like, that's the wrong answer, too bad. It'll be like, have you thought about changing the middle number rather than so it's sort of quite specific advice. I think because the students are using them at home as well, it means that they can go home and carry on with it as well. So they feel like it's not a separate, you've got your entertainment and then you've got school, which is completely mandatory, you're boring and you hate it, and you've got your home life and your games and you love going home. If you can sort of merge the two together, and like games is the common ground between them really, because you can use it for learning and you can use it for entertainment, and there's just no reason whatsoever why you can't have both. there's no reason at all why you can't just have fun as well as learning. It's just, some people seem to think if it's too fun it can't be real learning, but that's not true, I don't think, anyway.